Hello, everybody, and welcome to the director's commentary for the Hero's Space Adventure. I do apologize that this took so long to come out. Not the video itself, but this director's commentary. Just been busy with personal things, and now that I have a bit of free time, I figured I'm going to sit down and actually talk about this thing. Now, I would do this in the Look Back series, but since this is one of my feature films, I feel like it deserves its own video by itself where I talk about the film itself and its own dedicated video. So, just a few things before starting. Um, Obviously, you probably should watch it because I will be talking about spoilers throughout the film. And secondly, it's a pretty good film if you haven't seen it already, so I highly recommend watching that and then coming back and watching this after you've seen the film. But pretty much, the film will be playing in the background very quietly while I talk over the film itself, as director's commentary usually do. um, but yeah, we're going to be talking about the Hero's Space Adventure. So, about to play the movie in 3, 2, 1. As you see, the movie opens up on a courtyard of this GM city map. I use this a lot for my Gmod videos, this particular map. I'm not saying this is a Gmod video, but I use this map a lot. I used it in Epic Carman, I use it here, I used it for the original hero, and I figured I open up with him talking about a speech. But the reason we're flying through the city is to obviously put some text on screen. Basically, the disclaimer was saying, I think the age rating for this film is 13. Because, I mean, at the very ending, the main villain says the F word a few times, but it's not used in a sexual context. So technically, it would pass the PG-13 rating. Also, this movie does stand on its own, but watching the trilogy does help out a lot. For context, that is. Anyway, I open up with this speech where I'm giving. Sorry, I'm going to turn my volume down so I'm not hearing it as much. Anyway, so this was an interesting thing to do. You can see some of the, if you look really closely. Basically, what I did was I used a camera zoom in Gmod and also made myself slowly bigger and repositioning myself as needed in After Effects on the stage. It kind of looks choppy when you really look at it, but I think for what it was pretty good. Um, I wish I had a bit higher quality camera to get everything in frame, including my feet, but just how I film things sometimes. Sometimes I don't get my feet. That's just a nitpick of mine. But you can see also there's a little bit of choppiness with the recording. Nothing wrong with that. It's just how Gmod is sometimes. This one's just a stable shot where I'm just zooming in post. But if you're curious, by the way, that's actually the real script. I'm holding the real script, just reading off the line. This is the only time I believe I read off the script in this, as I'm reading off a speech where I think it's alright to read off the script for something like this. I could have memorized it, but I'm lazy and I didn't think of this when I originally wrote this. I thought it was going to be a short film, but as I filmed it, I realized that it was going to be pretty long. Because I think I filmed all of my parts, the live action parts, that is, in about 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours, yeah. But obviously all the Gmod stuff and other stuff was longer than that. This is also a callback to Epic Carman. As you know, spoilers for Epic Carman. He sacrificed himself at the end of that short film to save the city from the nuclear bomb. And I brought him back as in kind of like it's all connected if you think about it. Basically, the hero is the one who originally saved him, and now he's the mayor of the city. Just a little callback to my older videos for those of you who've been watching for such a long time. But anyway, that's just the opening of this film. It's pretty dumb, but this is where it gets good, where I actually go into space. So, and if you're probably wondering, I make a lot of sci-fi movies. It's because I film on a green screen a lot, and I do like making sci-fi movies, specifically movies in space. Just something is interesting. Oh, just a little fun fact about that scene is I'm actually holding that spaceship that's moving with the fizz gun, and I just zoomed in post because while my camera films in 1080p, I film everything in game in 4K, so I can always punch in later as needed with editing. But unrelated to this, I also now have a 4K camera, so all of the stuff's gonna be filmed in 4K and downscaled as needed, and that's I'm making a feature film. But on back to the film. This part's pretty much just getting ready for launch into space. Little fun fact: that spaceship that you saw from the outside is actually a big red ship. So it's funny that the ship, while the hero ship is blue, this ship I'm filming on is actually red on the outside. Believe it or not, I do put a lot of, not a lot of effort, but I do decorate the scenes for my films. And you're probably wondering, wow, you didn't use the Star Destroyer ship like you always do. Well, this is the hero ship, so it's got to be more clean and I don't know. So anyway, so the original concept with this film that I was doing was I was gonna film this. Well, I filmed it during the pandemic, but I was gonna film it and do everything myself. But as time went on, after filming it and sitting on for a bit, I casted some of my friends and some voice actors into the film itself. That's probably where the villain of all villainy is. Apologies for that. My daughter woke up. I had to go put her back to bed. I'm filming this at 9 o'clock at night, and her bedtime's around 8. But anyway, besides that personal stuff, I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, I've casted some of my friends, and I hired some other voice actors. Especially for the main villain, I hired a voice actor on Reddit, and he did a phenomenal job with the main villain. But anyway, I wanted to make a film about the hero, and I'm like, well, he's defeated all the evil on Earth. Why doesn't he just go out to space? And it was originally supposed to be like a 20-30 minute short film. And I ended up just going wild with the script. But this part's pretty cool. We go to light speed, and that part where I did both, I wanted to show both angles. But just a little fun fact, because I'm going off topic like I normally do, is I wish I made this a bit easier for myself, but I didn't because I'm a dumb idiot. All of the background was still that space background, and I wish I just put a green screen up on it and just was chroma keyed it out, but I had to go and manually and mask out the as you could tell, like that little corner, you can see there's a little bit of black poking out, but I think I did a pretty good job of doing this. But sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on screen right now. I'm getting distracted. But yeah, just I used a bunch of different maps. Believe it or not, the blue the blue light speed is from the Star Speeder map, and I just filmed that on different angles depending on what angle we were standing at. This weird thing where he's like a hologram, but he's also on TV is I filmed him as a hologram. Like it's all filmed on the green screen for this character's on the green screen, but I did a hologram because that seemed more interesting. And I don't know why I didn't just put him on the TV for that one. I did a hologram over there. But he's in the space background if you look at different angles. I don't know why I did that. I just thought it was neat. But you know he's a villain because he uses Skype. I'm just joking. Sorry, I'm losing track again because I haven't actually watched this movie since I made it back a year and almost a half ago. Yeah. The spaceship is I use a different spaceship because it's the hero. And this was a fun project to do. I just wish I did it all in one go because the problem with just how I make videos is I film lots of videos at once and then I sit on it for a bit. And with this project, the reason it took so long is because the voice actor that was originally supposed to play the villain just dropped off, and it's a shame because he also voices Violacious in the Blocksmate series, but this guy did a pretty good job, and a lot of my friends actually thought it was the original person, but nope, this is someone I found on Reddit, and he did a phenomenal job. But this part's pretty much talking about, hey, you're supposed to go to a different sector, because there's the villains over there, but the real villain's actually in the sector that they were originally going to go to. I don't know, my brain's weird when it comes to writing stuff. This effect that you're seeing where he's like kind of like a hologram, this took way too long to render. I know that sounds weird because I had the background going on, then I kind of have like a hologrammy fadey effect going on the character, and it's just a lot of things all at once. Oh, another fun fact, the soldier character, my first mate, is played by my good friend Wild Wind. We had the option to come in and him actually just do his part live action, but since it was still during the pandemic, I was like, probably not the best idea. But yeah. Anyway, that sounds like good news to me. There's a part where I want to talk about because I thought it was, yeah, okay, so going back to what I was talking about, how I had to cut out all the masking. As you could tell, I got lazy in certain spots and I didn't do it because I zoomed in like crazy. Like you could see up in the corner, that's still the space background, but they're in light speed right now. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought sometimes. I'm not really prepared for this director's commentary, but it's best to just let it come out naturally and just talk about what you made. And just since I didn't film this immediately after, it's kind of weird. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. Is another thing with this film is, you know how the hero is always like standing around just like, yes. I cut a lot of that. I didn't actually film a lot of that, but that was the only time one of the few times I actually do that in the film, where I just stand around and go doing my typical standing around for a long period of time. But since this was the film and I wanted to move things along quickly, I didn't do the whole standing around, shaking my head up and down, stuff like that. But starting with my comedy bit of the secret attack. Don't worry, I got it under control. Sort of thing. Oh, this part's pretty funny where I thought that was pretty funny when I was writing that and when I filmed it and when I edited it together. I wish I edited it a little bit better, but I feel like it did the job pretty well. Where I teleport out the ship and I boink the missile away. and then we get hit by another missile because there's two the whole time. Haha, I got him. But a little bit of spoilers for the later in the movie is my character gets thrown into space and he suffocates. But it's like, why didn't he suffocate when he went to go boink the missile? That's one of the plot holes I made. And then that part where that planet appeared was actually part of this map where you can put the map in. Oh, see how it's moving in the background? This was also keyed out. And I did this effect where he gets crappily thrown out of the ship. That part where that metal appears in the background, that was supposed to be like a bluish color, but I'm like, the metal looks a little bit better. And this is where my character self-doubts himself, whereas I'm not the goodest hero because me not protecting my crew is bad. But as you know, with space, it's the final frontier, as they say, and you expect the unexpected. So I feel like this villain is something the hero has never dealt with. Anyway, the reason I didn't show the ship crashing is because Gary's mod, it wouldn't look too great. But on top of that, sound design and just going black seems pretty low budget friendly. I also had a lot of these like overarching shots of just showing the environments they're in, because it's a film. So all of these, you know. A little fun fact about this is someone made a map based off the 7th Star Wars movie where the Star Destroyers crashed into the desert. And I'm like, I'll use it for this, because we're also crashing our ship. And obviously the ship's not destroyed. I try to make it look as destroyed as possible. And as you can see, oh no, he's dead. As you remember, this spaceship is also a part of a map, so I obviously couldn't move this spaceship so easily. I also did masking out and made it look like we were in the ground. And also another fun thing was making it look like I destroyed the ship, as I went around and just flung everything with my fizz gun and put a bunch of blow-up marks everywhere. But now it's just down to 2 characters, the hero and the first mate. Don't know how the first mate survived a crash like that. Obviously the hero can take stuff like that, but I don't know how the first mate survived it. He's protected by the plot for right now. But this is where the hero is getting tested, where he's like, oh man, I messed up, but I'll try to make it right now. Because by this point they're already too deep into this adventure, so you can't turn around now, especially that you lost 2 men. And now that the villain is aware of the hero's presence, they can't just, you know, let the villain come to them, because that'd be too bad. That'd be too risky. There's a lot of dialogue that I honestly don't remember, because obviously I wrote this and filmed this and edited this so long ago, so I'm kind of watching it freshly while doing this director's commentary. Another thing with this spaceship is did it with the fizz gun again. That's why it lands all stupid weird. But I thought this was pretty cool. If you're wondering how I did this effect, is that's one of my characters in the very front's running. Gary's my character I'm controlling, and then I just used a bunch of those teammates characters and had them follow me. So that's how I did that effect. But now we're in the desert, and you know what you do in the desert? You walk and try to find civilization. That line that grabbed the boob of destiny, I actually wrote for my original film idea. I was gonna do like a Watersurfs and Josh's adventure type of film, like my Roblox character and me and myself go on an adventure. But I just I used that line for that movie, but I ended up using it in this because that movie is still way in pre-production. It's not nowhere close to being done. And I ended up coming up with this hero idea. Little fine thing is breaking the fourth wall a little bit, where I'm actually on a green. Obviously, I'm on a green screen, but there's like a little table next to me where I was keeping my water while I was filming. And I thought that'd be funny where I walk off screen while we're doing a walking montage and just grab some water. So this map right here, I think it's called like GM Desert. It's like a little military base in the desert, but I figured it would work for what I was trying to do. But this part gets fun as we have the piranha plant puppet. I bought this not specifically for this film, but I wanted to use it for a video, and I feel like this was pretty good. Now, obviously, this looks fake as hell. And if you're wondering how I filmed it, I didn't film him on the puppet on the green screen. I filmed it on my blue wall. I have blue walls in my room, and I filmed it against the blue wall. That's why it kind of has like that bluish tint on the outside. But you know, it's a low-budget film. And I figured since you could tell this is a puppet, I feel like I could get away with that 90s like blue screen effect that's around him. Obviously the water I have is not coming up on the green screen, but yeah, this puppet, I basically held my hand up with my hand controlling the puppet, obviously. But he's actually like, this piranha plant's actually like a warp pipe, but I made it go all the way down and just had to hold my hand up. And I think filming this puppet took like puppet scenes took like about a good 30 minutes, and 5 of those minutes was trying to give him a boner later, as you can tell later with this interactions. But basically, the plant wants to eat us. There's a lot of jank with this puppet. See, this boner part, I want to go talk about this part for a moment, is you could tell it's not staying up, and this part was me fixing it, and originally I was just going to cut this part off where I'm fixing it, but like I had this stupid idea to make it look like he was, you know, playing with himself to get his boner back up. It looks so dumb, but you know, get away with that joke. And then I did this joke where I also, believe it or not, I uploaded a snippet of this film to TikTok, and this got me banned off the platform. I know they upload way much worse, but this is the clip that got me banned off TikTok. Let that be known to the universe. But you know, whatever, not a big deal. But this is a really dumb scene where we're fighting with a puppet plant. Sorry, I'm just last time I did a director's commentary, I had the other director with me, my buddy Wildwind, because we directed the Cooper movie together. But this was all me. Yeah, this was all me. So I'm technically the director of this. But this part's pretty funny where I'm like, yeah, maybe you should eat him, because the hero knows that he's not gonna eat him first. He's gonna eat the hero first. This next part is, I think, one of the dumbest things I've done. Also, yeah, right here. You can tell I got a little. It's just so dumb. I could have done that a little bit better, but I'm like, the puppet's already dumb enough. I feel like I can get away with that low budget munch. Yeah. Also, the music I used, like it's all like cartoony and carnival-y. But then when he eats the hero, it's like, oh, this is bad. This is not going to be good. But obviously, the hero's not going to get eaten by a plant. Yeah. this was a dumb little scene. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this scene. It's just interaction with the plant. There's a lot of dialogue in this film of talking back and forth. Oh, so that effect right there, I was like, I just did like a water effect to make it look like spit. I could have masked him out a little bit better to make it look like I was jumping out, but you know, I was trying to get this done. Oh, the little text. I made a joke about watching the Hero trilogy. If you haven't done already, and you're already this deep into the film, might as well. But yeah. And then sorry because I upload my some of my better videos to Vimeo. So if you ever go to my Vimeo page, you can tell what I considered higher quality than my normal videos. Because my Vimeo page is my quote-unquote portfolio. And this, as dumb as it is, goes into my portfolio. Yeah, I always bring out this airsoft gun that I have. This part's dumb. I wanted to make it more dramatic, so I have a lot of dust elements, a lot of explosions. Yeah. Bringing back the secret move joke. There's a lot of callbacks to the trilogy. So for those that like the trilogy and watch this, that part, sorry, gets me every time. Would you just shoot him? And I'm just standing there like a dingus. Yeah, you think a superhero wouldn't use a gun, but I'm a weird type of superhero. As you could tell, doing the fizz gun thing, and you can see my character flying it in. I could have done this a little bit better, but you know, whatever. It's good enough for me. Yeah. A little fun fact about all this stuff is, I think those are the guys from freaking Abe's Odyssey, the Oddworld game. Then we got a freaking Halo 3 Elite. You know, just got a lot of nonsense going around. This part pretty much is pretty neat. Is you never actually the main villain you don't actually see in quote unquote person until the next half of the movie. So I wanted to make him ominous, like he's only going to appear towards the end. Like that's how much of a bad guy is he can mess you up through the screen. And if you're wondering, I think this is like a knight armor player model that I found. I think I just looked up like villain or I don't remember what I looked up. But I feel like this epic big knight, black knight, seems kind of like a good hero. I mean, a villain. And if you're probably wondering, it looks like he's probably just a big burly alien. But that's how much of a crazy villain is. You never get to see his face, and I never actually intended to see this face. If you're curious on how I wrote this, by the way, is I did all my scouting. Like, I know that sounds weird, scouting, but I searched the sorry, that crappy explosion. He said, destroy the ship so the hero can't take it aboard. But basically, when I write my videos that have Gmod elements in them, is I always go and scout maps on the workshop and write my scripts around the maps. Like, not like, oh, I'm gonna do this here and this here and this here, but like just to give a general idea of like what I'm gonna do with the map and how I'm gonna utilize it in the background. Excuse me. But this map was perfect because I'm like, I want to have it on a military base, but I can make it like alien. And yeah, a lot of this act was written with this map in mind, because there's a lot of things that are in this map that would be, I'm like, this is perfect for what I wanted to do. So whenever I write these scripts, I'm always doing it with the intention to, um, you know, write around it. But anyway, the reason I wish those explosions looked a little bit better. I could have probably added it up in post, but you know, when I was editing this, actually editing it, I wanted to just get it done and over with, because when I finally got around to editing this, my daughter was on the way, and I think I got about halfway done with the editing process, and then she was born. So basically, while I was on parental leave, while she was napping, I was working on this to get it out. I ended up getting it a month after she was born. I actually finished it a few days before the release date. Obviously, I didn't just release it, but it was a fun project to edit, and I just wanted to get it done because I didn't know this could have been my last video that I ever made. So I wanted to make sure I made it as good as possible. At the same time, I also wanted to finish it. Something I need to bring up. This character, this prison guard, was done with an AI voice, and I feel like using an AI voice probably isn't like for your carrying your project, probably isn't the best. And now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have used an AI voice. I should have just done it myself. But I was like, I don't want to get a 2-line character. But I figured, just since it was just like 2 small lines, I feel like it was okay. But just wanted to bring that up. But anyway, another thing that was cool about this map is it had like a fall away floor, and this tension moment where they're about to get crushed by the cinder blocks, not the little grinders below. But luckily the hero shows that he's actually a hero, because the first mate, he wasn't thinking that he was a hero. But he finally uses his powers for good in front of the first mate, so now he believes that he's actually a true hero. But this was a really cool moment to edit and film, and just bringing up that tension that, oh no, they're about to fall into the floor. As you can tell, it fell in the background. Believe it or not, that floor was just a big old wall that I retexturized and Gmod with Minecraft water to make it look like it was like a floaty shield thing, like light shield. I don't know. So this part's kind of dumb, where I'm having this little montage of them walking. This camera, I was trying to make sure it didn't clip in with the walls. So that's why it looks kind of janky. But this part's just so stupid. Where I'm walking. I feel like walking on a green screen is so weird. It looks kind of unnatural, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. But this part's actually in a completely separate part of the map. But the way I edited it together, no one would know. It's fine, nobody knows. But anyway, there was this little car that had spikes on it. I'm like, oh, this would be a perfect thing for the hero to fight. And I think pretty much I'm just just go grab that gravity gun. I was gonna have this whole this whole thing where I was gonna have them fight this. I'm like, it'd be funnier if I just put a gravity gun and then made it into a fizz gun with my superpowers. Yeah, I just noticed that I completely forgot I did that. I'm like, look at that gravity gun over there, and then I make it the vehicle turn. Yeah, but that part is just I don't know. I'm losing track because so much things happening. But this part was just, might as well just use the fizz gun for what it's meant for, just causing chaos. Oh look, now it's on fire. Look at that craziness. I think I did that shot about 3 times because I kept whacking myself off the screen. Not like, okay, not like in that type of like hitting myself off screen. So I wasn't that great, but yeah, this part of the movie pretty much, yeah, I've defeated you. Okay, fine, I'll take you to my boss. And this is the part where it gets crazy as I don't realize why he's so wide right there. Basically, this villain didn't want the hero to get back on the spaceship, so he destroyed all the spaceships, but he has a teleporter. And you know, another plot thing that I'm thinking about now is why does why is he so short? Sorry. Is he so short? If he's such a powerful like alien overlord. Oh, that's what I looked up. Sorry, I'm thinking about it now. I looked up overlord on the Gmod workshop, and that's how I found that knight. But pretty much to get back on the spaceship, he's got this teleporter set up, and this is the showdown where the hero's got to go up against the overlord. I forget that's what I called him. He's the overlord. Yeah, and this is a part where the hero plays dumb and is like, I'm not gonna run from this guy. He's the ultimate villain. But you know, I'm just saying, with someone with this so much power, like, why didn't he just go to Earth and just stop the hero when he went out into space? Just a lot of plot holes that I think about now, a year later. Yeah, but this part's pretty much the turning point where the hero is about to lose everything, and yeah, I do this force field thing. I can shield things, you doofus. Yeah, sorry, I'm losing my train of... You gotta keep hearing that. I'm losing my train of thought. Just wanted to get out director's commentary for you guys. But that part, I did like this, like, for After Effects, what I did was I added, like, a big circle and just, like, did, like, a noise refraction on it. And when that exploded, did, like, a glass shadowing. This part, so stupid. Like, his death was supposed to be like, oh no, he's dead, and it's supposed to be a like really impactful thing, but I figured doing this dumb, sad, losing someone horn would be funnier, and I feel like if, I don't know if Walt would end up watching this film, but I'm pretty sure he probably thought that would probably be a good way for his character to go out, with that kind of dumbness. But yeah, pretty much this is going to be the point where the hero's at his lowest, and yeah, so basically the hero goes into hero mode and tries to be a little bit more dark, because I feel like the hero's characters, like, he's got more emotions. When he's more powerful, the more emotional he is, and obviously his anger side is what causes his downfall a lot. Not for this film, but I mean, not for the previous entries, but that's what causes downfall, is him being angry. He just has to control his emotions, and it's one of those. The hero character in films is only as good as their their emotions are. I don't know what I'm talking about. That spaceship part's actually the thumbnail. I thought that'd be a good thumbnail for the film's yeah. And then now he's in jail. And if you're wondering why I didn't put the hero in his jail cell while the camera's zooming around, because that sounds difficult, okay? Leave me alone. But then I do this eventual, like, zoom in. If you notice with how I'm flying around the jail cells, is there's a lot of previous callbacks to some of my older videos. If you're curious, So this next part, I'm supposed to be like tied up by like a. I was thinking when I wrote this, like I was tied up by like blue, light cuffs, like kind of like light, not like handcuffs, but like shackles. But I got lazy and just made them invisible because reasons. I don't know. This part's pretty cool. Is where I bring in the TV, like, hey, you're gonna talk to the villain. The reason I didn't do the shackles on the hero was because I move around too much. I'm sure if I was actually like restrained myself, it would look more realistic. But that's why the shackles are invisible. Okay, get off my back. I actually tested it out when I was editing, doing the VFX for it, but I'm like, it doesn't look right the way I'm doing it. And I'm sure there's a way where I can make it look better, but you know, whatever. I filmed it the way I filmed it. I don't know. And the reason, like, why'd you open up the jail cell? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Well, there's gonna be a part where they go in and they're supposed to beat him up, and obviously, if you open up the jail cell, the hero can just beat them up. As you can see later, is they pretty much have to beat the power out of the hero. So this part's so dumb is they're actually on a green screen because obviously I'm not gonna mask them out or rotoscope them out. And also, when I film with my Gmod, a lot of the characters are also played by myself. I don't have I don't have another actor to help out sometimes, so that's why I have to blue screen them in. But that was him breaking the shackles, and this is where it gets crazy, where he's about to go eat. I don't know why there's like this little gun effect on my hand, but this is where the hero becomes the villain and brings out the evil side of him, basically pissed off hero. I know it looks kind of dumb, but yeah, basically, since he's, as it's spoilers for the end, but he's a descendant of a god, so it would only make sense that he can call upon the godly powers, and some gods and mythical writings are evil, so they just go around and use their powers for bad. So basically, while the hero uses powers for good, this is the only time he gets to use them for bad. This montage, though, was kind of dumb to film. I was just running around like an idiot on my green screen. I'm like, I'll use something out of this. I feel like it came out pretty good for how I did it. Now, this part, I'm just walking down the hallway angrily. Like, that's the montage. Alright, so, little fun fact about this deck, this spaceship's bridge. Obviously, I use this bridge a lot for my sci-fi films. This is the Star Destroyer I was talking about. But another fun fact about this is the same setup as I use for the Cooper film for Bob's ship. Pretty much, I still have the map downloaded, like the save file for that. So I just reused it because I didn't feel like setting this up again because it doesn't actually come like this. I have to decorate it. As like I said, I decorate a lot of my backgrounds for my Gmod backgrounds, and that floor, that metal floor is actually open, and I have to close it off every time. And I'm like, I'll just reuse it because they're both villains. Yeah, I don't know why the hero's dumb enough to go in like this little area, but this is supposed to be a quote-unquote jail cell to hold the hero, and the reason there's this crappy telephone pole looking thing is to zap the power out of him. I feel like that's pretty cool how I did that effect. And then if you're wondering, oh no, I just replaced it. I just did the door thing again. Remember how I did the shield thing at the bottom? The shield thing at the bottom of that, where they fell earlier, yeah, I just redid the Minecraft water texture, as it looks kind of the closest to what I'm looking for without being too distracting to the eye. Excuse me. But yeah, this is the turning point of the film, I would say, where literally the hero has lost everything and he's about to lose his powers now. And when I was writing this, pretty much, he's like, yeah, I'm going to get your power, and then I'm just going to throw you into space. And then I think I sat on it for a bit. I'm like, do I just end it like that? But then I'm like, you know what would be funny? Because this was not meant to be a serious film. This was meant to be a comedy film. And obviously, that's one of the hardest things to write, is serious comedies where it's a comedy, but it's also taking itself seriously, but at the same time it's not. So I'm like, you know what would be funny if I brought back the climate change guy. If you're wondering how I did that, it's just like a sparkle effects pack that I found online years ago. And I just recolored it to electricity. I don't know. This next part where he's like on fire, it's supposed to have been him gaining the power from the evil side of the hero to go and defeat him. Yeah, this part's pretty neat, is where he gets thrown into space. So a little fun fact, that door was, I didn't actually film this. This was all done practically, where obviously it was done, not practically, it was done all visual effects, where the door, I removed the door, the background is not the original background. So yeah, pretty much did this whole thing where he gets thrown into space. Kind of like the ending of the Cooper film. Spoilers for that, obviously. I don't know why I kept him so dark. I should have made him darker, but yeah, he gets picked up by a spaceship. It looks kind of wonky taking off, but you know. So this is the good part, where he gets saved by a previous villain, and now just wondering, how come I used the how come I made my climate change guy a villain in the original and for this? Well, the first hero video, it was supposed to be just like a random Gary's Mod character, but I'm like, you know, it'd be funnier if I replaced it with my climate change guy. Because at the same time, we were also filming the second climate change video when we filmed that video. So I'm like, I'm already wearing the outfit, I might as well just use it. But I feel like, you know what, he can come back in this film, because you know what, it's fine, it's my movie, I can do what I want. And this is also how I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but my Watersurf's connected universe, where I technically have videos that are somewhat connected to each other, and some of them are connected to each other. But yeah, pretty much do a lot of callbacks to previous videos, because I know some creators aren't proud of their previous works, but I kind of am. Not all of them, but some of them I'm like, I feel like those are still pretty good 15 years later, 10 years later, 5 years later. So that's why I have the Watersurf's connected film universe going on. But this is just dialogue where they're like, why'd you save me? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? And then, you know, just a lot of banter between back and forth. Yeah, basically the whole point behind the climate change guy coming back is, I'm bored, so I'm gonna come in your movie, but I'm planning something. It's still in the planning phase, but and I'll give more backstory to this. I know that sounds dumb, but just how my brain works. But that's way long in the future, and that's not going to come out anytime soon. But anyway, pretty much the climate change guy was bored, and that's his only motive is I'm gonna come help you out, and it's nothing to do with yeah, yeah, and I make a joke about Deus Ex Machina as they say in scripting, where you write yourself out of a plot hole, and since the hero got flung into space and there's no out looking for him, like, you know, it'd be funny if someone came and saved him, but you know, it'd be even funnier if it was the climate change guy, one of his previous villains, to come save him. But anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, pretty much right here, this part right here, I'm talking about believe it or not, this is gonna sound so stupid, and I mentioned it before in my previous videos. Yeah, right here, I saw this UA outfit for sale on Funimation's website, and it was on sale. For like, I think it originally retailed for like $70, but it was on sale for like $20. So I'm like, I would be dumb not to buy it, and now it's one of my favorite characters to play as in my films. I like playing the hero. He's a fun character, and he's just a dumb goofball of a hero. I know superheroes are like beaten to the pulp nowadays, but I feel like my hero character's somewhat unique, as in he's a dumb superhero that doesn't really use his power, but when he does, you know it's about to go down. Because when I originally wrote it, it was originally for the fact that he wasn't supposed to be a serious character. He's supposed to be a cosplayer, but then it evolved into, no, we'll make him a superhero, but he just doesn't use his powers. That was a pretty neat effect, though, where we teleport to Earth, but if you saw in the background earlier, you saw Earth was in the background. That's just because this map has Earth in the background. And that's also a reason I use this map, is because I'm like, it's got Earth in the background, might as well make it useful. I wish I green screened my character a little bit better, because his shorts are see-through. I'm just now noticing that. Whatever. Not really a big deal. Yeah. Sorry, I'm distracted again. I don't remember what I bought those glasses for, to be honest. I think I bought it for the climate change sequel, because I wanted to make it more cool. We switched to those glasses, so I actually ended up using it in the sequel, but anyway. But the heroes ended up using it now. It's his signature look. He's a superhero, and no, he doesn't have laser powers from his eyes. I don't forget the guy's name from X-Men. Cyclone, maybe? No, he's not like Cyclone. I think I'm probably wrong, but you know. But that teleport effect was pretty neat. Call back to my epic Carman character. Look, his car's back, but now it's in blue instead of a police unit, because he's the mayor, not the not a police detective anymore.
I trust you.
I wish Gmod getting in cars looked much better, but whatever. So this part's pretty interesting, where I'm like, you know what? The hero has finally realized that he doesn't need his fancy powers, and this is where the epic showdown happens. That part's pretty cool, where the spaceship comes into scene. That's actually on that map. It didn't chroma key or anything. I just put it in the skybox so it looks like it's there, because his ship is massive, and I'm like, well, if this guy has how I wrote him, like, if this guy has the power to destroy a planet with the snap of his fingers, well, what's he gonna do if I blow up his ship and he can't escape? Why would he come down to the surface, you dummy? So basically, I thought it would be funny to write the hero's characters like, dude, I could beat you. I'm not even gonna try. And if you're probably wondering, if the hero could have just beat him all along, why didn't he just beat him right then and there? Well, then there wouldn't be a story, you dummy. Okay, leave me alone. I don't know how I write my characters, man. This is just how entertainment works. You just gotta write your characters a little bit dumb, but a little bit smart, but a little bit dumb at the same time. So, yeah. There he's standing up now. I just find it funny that the Overlord character's player model is just short. Oh, this part. I'm one of the few people that has the Surface Duo, okay? Leave me alone. And when I filmed this, I had the original model, but obviously I upgraded the second model. Still currently using that phone as of recording this. Not the original model, but the second model, the Surface Duo. And I don't feel like the hero would be the type of to use the Surface Duo, but that's just the phone I have, so, you know, whatever. Anyway, this part was kind of funny to write and film, is just how I just take a phone call and he's all like, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and it's just all that nonsense. But I thought this part was pretty funny, where the climate change guy literally sacrifices himself and blows up his ship. So what I did for this is I literally just let go and like let gravity take control of the ship, and it kind of acted like it was falling, but by the time I cut away, you can't tell the ship is still there because I deleted it. But you know, I feel like that effect came out pretty good, where all those explosions overlapped on top of each other. Now, this ultimate showdown. So, yeah, this is where I like, oh yeah, he says bad words. According to the film Raiders people, the F word can be used in a PG-13 movie as long as doesn't have a sexual context. You can use it as many times as you want, as like it's not used in a sexual context. So, like, I'm gonna freaking kill you. I'm gonna. Sorry, I don't. I don't want to swear, since I don't want this video to get dinged in any way. But yeah, like, I'm gonna freaking get you, like, but if you use it in the context of I'm gonna freak your mom, then that's like, oh, you can't say that. That's not an R rating. So that's why I'm like, I feel like this would be a PG-13 movie. Plus, kids at the age of 13 are saying much worse than the F word. So, but I wanted to make it like the villain is gonna lose, and he knows he's gonna lose, so he's gotta use a potty mouth. Another fun thing. I'm just gonna turn my volume a little bit so I can hear it. Yeah, so the background music is freaking. My wife and I were rewatching the Evangelion Rebuild movies when I was writing this. I'm like, you know, it'd be funny if I used that song from the end of the second movie, where, because I know was it? Yeah, Evangelion uses it, and that Danganronpa, I believe, and Yandere Simulator uses it. But I feel like using it for this was just perfect. And when I wrote this, I'm like, I'm gonna use this. But when I edited this, I found one that was like just the sound, the instrumentals by itself. And then I found this other one where this lady did a phenomenal job singing it. And it did perfectly what I was thinking of. Because I was originally going to sing it, but I'm terrible at singing, so this worked pretty well for what I'm doing. And then acting at this part, I'm like, I had that in my head that I was going to use this song, so I tried to make it look as cool as I possibly could. Also, another thing, the background, where it's kind of like I put myself in a big bubble so we wouldn't destroy the city. I hope that came off like we're in a big dome, because basically it's just a plate and I curved it. So, but I hope it looks like a circle, like a dome around us. And if you're wondering how I did this part, pretty much I dropped a nuke in the city. But it made it look like it was contained, and the hero saved the day, as he always does.
You really did it.
Sorry, I'm taking a sip of water.
Great hero.
So the reason this white fade out so long is so I can finish the song. That's the only reason I padded it out. Also, this is part where you realize, oh no, the hero's dead. He sacrificed himself to save the planet, save the universe, save the overall everybody. So I brought back this map's called GM Heaven, and I've used it in the original Hero trilogy. You know that part where they, why am I in heaven? Lol, you're not supposed to be here. And then the climate change guy shoots him. And that was a callback, and pretty much I used it for this, but I wanted to make it look, where is this guy? Oh, he's in heaven. So I did one of those pad out the movie's runtime. Since by this point of editing and filming all the Gmod stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a feature film. It's not like a minute. It's not as long as the Cooper film, but I'm pretty sure if I cut out some of the extra padding, it would have been. I could have probably got it down to like maybe 50 minutes, but like it was going to be over 50 minutes regardless. So adding the extra fluff, I feel like didn't really hurt. I think the film came out to a little bit under an hour without credits. But this is the plot twist where, how come the climate change guy is always up here? Well, because he's actually Death himself. And like when I wrote this, I'm like, I thought it'd be funny to make him Death, because Death is the one that can decide your fate, as in if you live or die, or if you get a second chance. And then I make a joke. I'm like, well, how'd you become Death? That's a story for another time. And I never explain it other than that. And then, like I said earlier, I was actually planning on making the backstory to the climate change and how he became Death, but it's some of those ideas I'm toying with. But yeah, and I figured those that are interested in it probably have watched this long, so maybe you can look forward to that if I actually end up making it or not. But the only reason that I the only reason I made the hero the climate change into Death is because I bought this robe. I don't remember if I bought it for this film specifically, but I did it for something. I don't think that film ever came. The idea I had for it ever came out. I don't remember what I used it for, but regardless, I never had like one of these death-looking cloaks, so whatever, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Yeah. This one I was explaining the hero's backstory, because I'm like, you know, I'll give a backstory to. He's just a descendant of a Greek god. That's pretty much it. It's make believe. It's a fun little thing. So obviously none of this is real. It's all fictional. I'm sorry to blow your mind. Yeah, who really cares? This is my character just said. Who really cares? It's just for entertainment purposes. I've just been rambling for the past hour for a bunch of nonsense. Anyway, I feel like. Sorry. I feel like the way I ended it, I'm not really too happy with how it just ended abruptly. But at the same time, because like I never showed the hero going back to Earth, because this was originally supposed to be my last hero movie, and I was going to not retire the character, but like make him stop doing his shorts. He's just gonna be in movies from here on out. So I feel like having this open-ended. Did he actually get a second chance? Leaving it up to the audience to decide. But yeah, that's the hero film. I know it's dumb, and the director's commentary was dumb, but you know, I feel like it. Not the director's commentary, but this film was pretty fun to make, pretty fun to edit, pretty fun. It was a fun time all around, and I wish I could make these more. Not this specific film, like remake it, but like continue making these types of films. So yeah, I have another idea for the hero film. Not like a sequel, but like, oh my, well, it is a sequel, but not a sequel directly to. Not a directly related sequel, but I have another idea with the hero character in a feature film for him. But I'll talk about that another day, when I get closer to even getting close to the script. It's one of those still in my head sort of ideas. But yeah, that's pretty much the hero film. Um, Now that the credits are rolling, I can just talk freely about it. It was a treat and a half to make. Um, yeah, like I was saying before with that AI character, that was done by an AI character, and looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have used an AI character, and I do apologize for using that character. So um, I should have just voiced it myself and not been lazy. So, but I feel like since it was just like 2 lines, it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, just wanted to make that a point. So sorry. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, the hero film was fun to make. Maybe I want to make another one eventually in the future, but we'll see when we get there. As you know. In other news, if you watched this whole thing and you're watching me talk through the credits, I appreciate your view. Every view helps. As of right recording this, my channel has been remonetized, so I can start making money off my channel after 10 years of back and forth with YouTube, and I appreciate them finally helping me out and getting my channel remonetized. But I just have to get back up to that 4,000 watch hours, so your hour of watching this video really helps out, and I appreciate it. Um, that being said, yeah, these credits have a lot of music. I use a lot of music for the film. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the hero film. If you have any further questions about this film specifically, or just in general, you can always ask down in the comments below. I pretty much see every comment that I get. Obviously, there's some I'm not going to reply to that are kind of just dumb, but most comments that I can respond to, I will probably respond to. Um, but yeah, another thing to take away from this is if you have an idea for a feature film and you have the ability to do it, then just do it. Who cares if you don't got the money to do it? Taking inspiration from Joel Haver and his feature films is you don't need money to make a great film. And I'm not saying this film is the best film ever made, but like I feel like it's pretty good for what I can do on my own. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't have any final thoughts for this. I just wanted to make a director's commentary talking about the film and my thoughts. I enjoyed making the film. There are some aspects of the film that were more enjoyable than others. Just sorry for all the dialogue and not much action, but with lower budget films, we tend to do more dialogue than action. But I'm working on making more entertaining films as time goes on. Now that we're finally going to black, the film's officially over. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching my dumb little director's commentary. And sorry it was a jumbled mess, but I wanted to just talk about it and get this out to get my opinion on it, so it's not part of its look back series. And by the way, the look back series will be coming back. I just wanted to get this director's commentary out first. Those are going to come out probably sometime next month ish. I don't know. No, don't quote me on that, but we'll see. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed not this director's commentary but the film, please share it with your friends. Every view helps, and thank you for watching this director's commentary up until this point. Until then, I'll see you next time, and have a nice day.